Hello guys, welcome to today's video. It's your boy Alestin Mandela, from Kenya, east of Africa, guys. And, welcome to today's video officially. And on this video today, guys, I've got so much, things to show you because today I'm gonna be sourcing, for building bricks that I'm gonna be using, at home. You also the construction that is happening at home. So on today's video, guys, I'm gonna be taking, you around the village as we source, for people who do sell bricks because we need to buy, some bricks for the ongoing construction that, is currently happening at home. So most of the people, here in Africa, they do, make their own bricks because, bricks is a building, material, if you can't afford a stone, you use, mud that, is burnt and, comes up with something that looks, similarly to a block, but, rather than being made with cement and sand, it's made through mud. And when it's burnt, and it stays under, maximum heat for some days, it becomes, much stronger. And that's what we use, here in the border of Kenya and Uganda, for our construction. So on today's video, guys, I'm gonna be taking you just around, come along with me as I try and explore if I'll be lucky enough, to find someone who will be selling bricks maybe around here, in the village, because I haven't, started by far. I've just started by here within, because I'm sure most of the people here around the village are still, doing that business, because considering the amount of construction that I saw yesterday, it means that, that business is really booming right now. The last time I checked, the bricks were going for 4 shillings per piece. 4 shillings, that is like, 0.4 USD, even it's not 4 cents, guys. That is, Kenyan shillings, 4 bob is not even, 0.4 cents. It's like 0.004, USD. And I'm not sure what 0.004, if it's a cent or a mini cent, but yeah, that is the price that, I last knew bricks were sold while I was back here at home. So given the fact that we have seen, many constructions, going around the village, people building, mega mansions, I'm not sure if the price is still, Kenya shillings for bob, or if the price has even go much higher. But, today's video, I'm going to be sourcing, for construction bricks, because we need bricks on the ongoing projects that, is currently happening at home. I'm here today with my bicycle. I decided, to take the bicycle on today's video because yesterday I almost, got, rained on because I decided, to take a walk. But today, guys, I'll be, going around, with my bicycle, which is right here, as you can see, guys. So come along with me on this video as we try and find, bricks that we will be using at home for the construction. We are just sourcing for the bricks. We are not buying them today. I just want to know what price, they go for and where I can find them, so it can be easier when I'm ready to buy them. So come along as we take, this ride around the village, showing you guys where, we can source, building materials, or, building, stones, which we call bricks, which are made of mud, and, they are put on fire for a couple of days to make them, more hard. And that's what we use for construction here in the border of Kenya and Uganda. So today's video, guys, expect, some much fun, some more activities from around the village, and, some more exploration from this African village of ours in the border of Kenya and Uganda. So guys, it's gonna be difficult for me, filming while riding the bicycle. So I'm gonna be, pausing sometimes so that, I don't distract people on the road. So guys, as I was explaining to you, about bricks and, how we build, using the bricks, here's an example of, a construction built using bricks. The red part that is bricks, it's purely made from mud. Mud is mixed with water, then, it's heat up for like 2 or 3 days for it to be more stronger. And that's what we use, for constructions, especially here in the border of Kenya and Uganda. And you can see, this perimeter wall has been, built using bricks. Later on, it's, built using sand and cement, but rather than using blocks, we use this kind of bricks, the red stuff that you can see on the wall. Yeah, and right ahead in front of me, I can even, already see one of the places where, a huge mountain of bricks are currently being made. So let me approach there and try to see, talk to the owner and see if, the bricks he is making, if they are already on sale, or, he hasn't found someone to buy them, because most people I've had around here do make them with orders because they receive so much orders. So they avoid, making too many bricks and, leaving them there to stay. So they prefer, making them with orders. You give them order, you tell them, I need this number of bricks, and, they make for you. Right ahead, I can see, there's a huge brick being made. Let me show you guys. Take a look at that. You can see where there is so much smoke coming from. That's how, the bricks are made. After they are mixed with, sand, the soil is mixed with, water to form the mud. Then they are, designed in rectangular shapes. Then they are placed, the way you can see in front of you, in form of, a heap. Then fire is lit under them, so that they can, be burnt for a couple of days. So to make them, more harder and more stronger, and later on they are sold, to construction sites. Look at that, guys. Look at the amount of smoke coming out of there. That's how, they are made. And look at, this African village. This is how we survive. I told you, here in the village, we use our own resources, to build our own homes. We don't have, to buy, blocks which are a bit, more expensive and all that. We just have to come up with something that works best for us. And yeah, right there you can see, guys, people are, making bricks, and these ones, they won't be ready maybe in a few days, because I think they just set them up today, because I can see, there are a lot of boys over there. I think they just set it up today. So this one has to burn for like, maybe more 3 or 4 days, so that, it will be ready for, construction. But yeah, that is how it's done, guys. Look at that. This is Africa. This is Kenya, east of Africa, the border between Kenya and Uganda. Yeah, this is how we do it, guys. This is how we do it. Take a look at that. Wow. 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 Look at that, guys. Ni aje? Mnauza matofali? Mnauza matofali? Ni kuna yenye iko ready mahali, ama ni hii ndio tuongoje? Let me try and talk to them, guys, so that, I can hear what they have to say. Ni aje? Kuchonjo. Vipi? Wewe mnauza aje? 8 bob. Kwani ilipandanga bei hiyo? Hata kama hii inachukua siku ngapi ndio ikuwe ready? By midweek itakuwa ready. Midweek kama Wednesday hapo. Naweza onyesha watu kwa video lakini sitawa record. Nataka tuone vile inatengenezwa. So guys, this is how, take a look at that. This is how, the bricks are made. Yeah. So after, the soil is mixed, as you can see here, they mix it with mud, they mix with water. Then after, forming the shapes, they kind of arrange them, They kind of arrange them. Here is an example of, they arrange them, then they light up the fire. They lit up the fire, guys. Wow. This is Africa, guys. This is Africa, guys. Yeah. Take a look at that. It's crazy, how we survive here in the villages, guys. Because, if you opt to build, using stones, stones are so expensive, but people decide to just do this because you can dig the soil from your own land. You just need water and some boys to help you with labor. Then you come up with such a thing. After 3 or 4 days, the bricks will be ready. And as you've heard, the guys say they will be ready by midweek, which means by Wednesday, they will be undoing this whole mountain here and arranging the bricks, ready to be sold. So guys, I found, the bricks, but are not ready until Wednesday. So I'm still gonna, move forward and try to see if there are more places where I'll find the bricks that are already burnt, so that they are ready for sale. But for these guys, I have to wait till Wednesday. And with the price of Kenya shillings, 8, that is double, because the last time I told you the price was going for 4 shillings. Right now it's 8 shillings. That is double the price. You can imagine, considering the constructions that we have seen here in the village. That's why the business is booming. For 8 shillings, that is double the price, but the demand is so high. So guys, this is Africa. This is how we make Africa. This is Kenya, east of Africa, the border between Kenya and Uganda. And this is how we do it, guys. This is how we are building our villages here. So guys, come along with me. The guys weren't comfortable, me recording them. That's why I've avoided, moving closer there. But from here, guys, you can have a picture of what I was talking about, guys. This is how we are, making our continent. This is how, we survive here in the village. Such kind of, such, kind of a mountain that, they are making right here might even be up to, 60,000 Kenya shillings, which is like, 600 USD when, it's already for sale. They might even get up to 70,000 or 60,000 out of just that mountain of, bricks. And this is, how the youths, are surviving here, just through this kind of work is how, people get to raise their families, people get to take their children to school, and people get to survive here in Africa. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Let's continue going forward. For those joining us here for the first time, it's your boy Alestin Mandela from Kenya, east of Africa, a content creator who decided to come back to the village after spending 9 years in the city, to try and just show you, what Africa has to offer, to try and show you what, the kind of life we live here in the border of Kenya and Uganda. So this is the first site. We have still, more sites up ahead as we continue with the video. Continue, following us, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, guys, so that we can continue growing our audience and I can continue bringing you more entertaining videos from this side of Africa. This is Kenya, east of Africa. So guys, I've just come across, a construction site, down in our area made of bricks. And I just wanted now to give you a clear picture of how, the bricks are used, here for construction. So come along with me. Hope my bicycle will be safe because, in the village, we don't have to worry so much. You can just leave your bicycle right there and nobody will touch it. So come along with me. Let me show you, an example of a building, built using bricks, and how we do it here in the village in the border of Kenya and Uganda. Look at that huge tree, guys. Such a huge tree, I've come across a huge tree over here, guys. Take a look at that. Look at that. And what's shocking me that it's all dried up. It has no leaves, but in a few days, I'm sure, their leaves will be coming out. So come along, let me show you, an example of a house, made purely of bricks. And, here is the house. Take a look at that, guys. That is an entire mansion, coming up, and, it's built of bricks. So that will be, a better example, for me to show you what I meant, when I said, this is how we do it here in our village, here in the border of Kenya and Uganda. So take a look at this house, guys. It's quite a huge house, quite a massive house. And you can see it's purely made out of bricks. Yeah, look at here, guys. These are not stones. These are bricks, you see? Sorry, guys. I hope you can see. These right here are bricks. After the bricks that you saw previously, get burnt, when, the whole mountain now is, brought down, this is how the bricks look. So this is how, we use the bricks here in the village. Take a look at, that house, how big it is. It's a huge mansion, and all of it, it's made with bricks. And once, it's plastered, you won't even know that, the house was made of bricks in the first place. And if you remember, guys, even from the home tour that I gave you at my home, you also that, my house was also made of bricks. Our parents' house was also made of bricks. So that is a very common thing here in Africa. That's why, we see construction like this, people purely using, whatever, they have to make sure that, they grow Africa, to make sure that, we grow our continent. We don't have, to rely on so much. We don't have to worry on so much. We just use, soil, which, God has already provided us. We mix it with water, we heat it up and come up with, with strong bricks that, build such a huge constructions. So guys, come along with me as I continue, to show you, as we continue, in this journey of just looking, where we will be finding, the bricks that are needed for the construction. But for now, I can't see any other brick, around here, but I'm sure going forward, we will be coming across, many sites. Yeah, we will be coming across many sites that, are, building the bricks. So let's continue together. And I want you to have the view of that. Take a look at that. Such a huge natural tree, here in Africa, guys. This is the beauty of the village. And, growing up, this tree, I remember it because this farm, next to it, it was a big sugarcane plantation. And we used, to come and kind of steal, the sugarcane, but not, here in the village, people, when you have planted sugarcane, people can just pass, by the road and, uproot the sugarcane and eat. So here we used, this land, used to have such a huge sugarcane plantation. So every time, we pass this road, we would pluck some sugarcane and come and chill, down that tree because it had a nice, shade, and eat the sugarcane from there. But right now, as you can see, guys, no more sugarcane in the land. People are selling land. People are developing. People are, opting, into real estate rather than, farming that, was the main source of income here in the village. Most lands, like this whole land, guys, it's a very big land. I don't know if the camera does it justice, but it's a huge land, and all of it, used to grow sugarcane. But right now, you can see people are selling portions and portions of it just to construct and build homes. And that's why I'm telling you that the village is growing each and every day, guys. So come along with me as we continue to explore, just looking for my construction bricks that we will be using at our home for the ongoing construction that I showed you on our home tour. For those who haven't watched the video, you can watch the video. It's my second video on this channel. You can go and check it out. I showed you guys the tour of my home and, told you that, I am from the border of Kenya and Uganda, and I decided to come back home after 9 years to just explore our beautiful village here in Africa and to show you guys, what the village life has to offer. So come along with me on this journey. For those joining us right now, this is Alestin Mandela, a content creator from Kenya, east of Africa, at the border of Kenya and Uganda. I finally decided to come back home in the village after being away for 9 years so that I can bring you content about, African village here at the border and what we have to offer, guys. Don't mind the video shaking because I'm currently riding on my bicycle, but, that can't stop me from, continue showing you our village, exploring our village together, showing you where, we are, how we live here in the border of Kenya and Uganda, guys. This is what, we do here in Africa, just taking these crazy strolls, in these weird roads. But, I guarantee you this is the most safest, place that you can be, because in villages, nobody cares about your business. Everybody just cares about their own business. That's why, you can just take your bicycle on such a road, guys, and, do your content without having too much, to worry about, guys. So, yeah, there's some women, looking at me, but guys, as I told you, people still don't understand this whole content creation, concept here in the village about it, because, it's is still a new thing, guys. But with time, they will come to learn, guys. But I still have to do this, guys. Whether I look weird, whether I look mad, I still have to bring this content, because this is how we market our continent. This is how we show you the reality of things here in Africa. Don't just rely on the stories that you are told out there that people live here in bushes. No, we have real homes. People have homes. People live just like the rest of the world. But we are building each and every single day, guys. So come along with me, guys, as we take this journey, guys. I'm on a certain road down here, and I've spotted another indigenous tree. Take a look at that tree, guys. This is the beauty of Africa. Take a look at that. Such a huge tree. Yeah. When we tell you Africa, guys, it's amazing. This is what we mean, guys. This is what we mean. Yeah. This is what we mean when we tell you to come to Africa, guys. This right here is what we mean. It's so hard, filming while riding the bicycle in the same time. But yeah, we gotta do what we got to do. So let's continue with our journey. I can't see any more, sites that are making bricks over here. Maybe I have to take a different route, guys, because I don't see any more sites. But I've come across another house over here, made of bricks. Take a look at that, guys. An entire house made of bricks. And I told you, here in the border village, of Kenya and Uganda, this is how we do it. We make our houses with bricks. And you will see more and more houses, as you come along with me on this video, because, that is the common way of construction here in the border of Kenya and Uganda, in our village that is east of Africa, a country called Kenya. For those who, have never been to Kenya, take a look at another house made of bricks, Yeah. Welcome to Africa, guys. Yeah, we're taking it, slowly, step by step, just, changing the, story, changing the image of the motherland, guys. And, with, small progress each time, we will eventually, get there. So come along with me, guys, as we take on this amazing journey. So guys, I just came across another construction site, or a brick construction site, and this on this site, they have got bricks that are already made, but they are yet to be burnt. So I told you, here in the village, this is some major activity that happens here in the village, because this is how many people get to put food on the table, to raise their families, by making this kind of bricks. So take a look at this behind me, another brick construction site. Take a look at this, guys. This is another construction site. And for these bricks, they are already put in their exact shape, but they are yet to be burnt. But on the first site that we came across, we saw the bricks that are already going through the burning process. But before they are piled up into that mountain, this is the how they are arranged. After they are mixed from the mud, you can see the whole place was dug out. You can see, yeah. They dig up the whole mud, they mix it with water, and they have a special board that they use to make these rectangular shapes. Then after they are done is when they form the huge mountain and lit up the fire. So you can see these are just some of the woods that will be used to lit up these bricks, because we need woods that are not that dry, so that they can continue burning for a long time. So you can see this is how it's done, and you have to cover it up because of the rains. You have already been informed that this part of Africa, we experience too much rain. So if you leave them to be rained on, they dissolve, because they are just made of water and mud, when they get rained on, they dissolve. So you have to cover them up because this is quite a huge investment. All these bricks that you see here, guys, when this guy gets to sell these bricks, he might make even up to 600 USD on just these bricks that you see here, guys. So that's why, they have to be cautious by each and every process they take, making these bricks, ensuring that, they have return on investment. But given the price that we were told earlier, guys, of 8 Kenyan shillings, these guys are really making good money out of this business. But all this is just thanks to the development that is currently happening here in the village. The village is changing. I just saw we have a new tarmac road. We have new constructions going on. That's why, the business is booming this kind of way. So come along, let me show you guys and, have a great look. Yo. Asante. Pole sana na record. Nilikuwa nauliza matofali inauzwa ama imebukiwa? Inauza. Mnauza pesa ngapi? Shilingi 7. Sasa mtu akichukua mingi like kuna pesa mnamtolea ama hiyo pesa iko fixed tu?
Hata hiyo tumetoa tu, ilikuwa inatakikana shilingi 8, lakini sasa kwa sababu mtu anagharamika transport.
Lakini hizi bado hazijachomwa, si ndio?
Sasa ndio Wednesday wanaweka kwa tanuri. Sasa ukitaka unanipatia feedback, unataka matofali ngapi? Alafu unatoa deposit. At least mtu akikuja asichukue. Kwa sababu wamekuja kutoka asubuhi watu watatu nikienda kanisani.
Okay. So guys, that's the owner just trying to tell me that, the bricks are about, to be burned so that, they can be sold. And yeah, let me have a communication with her. I'll come back to you guys later. As you can see, those are the bricks right there. They are ready, to be placed on the heating process. And, latest by Friday or Saturday, they might be ready. And the owner just told me she has up to 11,000 pieces right here. And she is selling at 7 shillings. So she's a bit cheaper than the first guy. So if, I was to buy, I would go with her because that 1 shilling, is such a big difference. And just seeing her, being honest, telling me that, many people are asking for the bricks. So someone has to be serious, by putting in the deposit to just show the interest of purchase. But here are the bricks, guys. And this is, a thriving business right now here in Africa, given the fact that, people are constructing each and every day. So yeah, come along with me. So guys, let me surprise you guys. The owner was so impressed, by me approaching her just, to show interest in her bricks. She offered me, a jackfruit over here, guys. And this is one of the famous fruits here in Africa. Take a look at that, guys. This is a jackfruit. Jackfruit is one of the fruits that, people eat so much here in the village because it's grown so much here in Africa. And just seeing her, appreciate me in this kind of gesture, it means that I'm going to be doing business with her because she's a woman, who has got a good heart. Not everyone, can be so welcoming, showing you so much, respect and even offering me something to eat. This is always seen as a good, gesture here in Africa. So I'm going to be eating my jackfruit, guys. Come along with me, guys, as I enjoy, this amazing, jackfruit. But, the one advantage of this fruit is it always has, some sticky gums. You can see my finger is already sticking. So whenever you eat it, you have to apply oil on your hands, so that to avoid this too much stickiness. But it's so sweet. And, the kids here in the village love it so much. And, this was one of my favorite, fruit eating, growing up here in the village. And, it's nice to finally, eat it again after 9 years, thanks to our new business partner, in the bricks. So come along with me, guys, as I enjoy it. Let me sit over here as I enjoy. Huh? Niko na haraka.
Yenye unafaka iko kwa miti mingi. Kwanza ungepeleka mgeni huku nyuma achukue hiyo nini vitu ya finance vile nimejipanga.
Umepanda mingi kwa boma huko? Eh. Guys, the lady is so generous. She's even offering me a tour, of her farm, of her jackfruit farm, at home, so that, I can get to see the whole tree, growing up and, how the jackfruit, is being harvested. So, you can tell she's a nice lady, showing me all kinds of good gesture. But I think she's just doing that because, she thinks I'm a potential customer. So in business, she's just trying to win me, over to buy her bricks. But, I really appreciate her effort because that's, a good gesture, just meeting someone and, them showing you this kind of good signs, is always something rare here in the village. So, yeah, I think I might be going to her home, to show you how the jackfruit, is planted and, how it's harvested from the tree. So for now, let me first enjoy my jackfruit. I will be back in a short while. Guys, that is Africa for you. That is the village for you guys. Yeah, I'm just so amazed by, how I was treated by that lady. Even she was offering, me a home tour, telling me how, her husband, is a construction worker, because she already, sees business, in me. And that's, the mind that we want here in the village, people just thinking about business and how, to better themselves, because that's, the way the world is. But, I really am grateful to how she has treated me, offering me the jackfruit, even offering me, a tour of her jackfruit farm. But because, I was in a hurry, I told her I will come back, to explore a home later. But, for today, we are still in the exploration of trying to look for these bricks that, we will be using for our construction site back at home. So guys, yeah, come along with me in this journey, guys. I am deep inside the village, guys. This is a primary school, you can see. This is a primary school here in the village, but no fence. This is how we survive. The kids can enter the school from any direction. Those are classrooms. You can see how it's called. Mundu Lucia Mixed Secondary School. That is a secondary school over there, but you can see it's only one block, one block accommodates all the classrooms. And that's just how we survive. That's how we have learned here in the village. And, this is just bringing so much memories to me because, this was, where I was brought up right here in the border of Kenya and Uganda. East of Africa. And for those who are joining me for the first time, my name is Celestine Mandela, a content creator who came home back in the village after 9 years of staying in the city to try and just, bring to you, the village life right here from the Kenya-Ugandan border and exploring, what African villages have got to offer. And, these are the fun things that, keep me going each and every time, just to make sure that, I get to show you, my audience, how Africa, is amazing, what Africa has got to offer. And, that's why, we have to do this, whatever circumstance. So let's continue, with this road. Hope I'll be finding more breaks down there. If I don't, then I'll have to call it a day because, I have already come a long way and I don't want to go any further because, the weather over here is always quite unpredictable. 1 minute it might be, so sunny like this. The next minute, it's raining and you wouldn't want, rain to find you, far away from home because there are no shelters here. There are no shops, to just, shelter from the rain. So when rain finds you in such an area, you have just to walk all the way in the rain until you reach your home. So come along with me, guys. Let's continue exploring our beautiful Africa in my amazing mountain bike that I, inherited from my father. Yeah, let's do this. Welcome to the African village, Kenya-Ugandan border. Yeah, we're doing this big, guys. Come along with me. Come along with me, guys. Come along. Take a look at that mansion. Take a look at that mansion over there. Such a huge mansion, and it's made of bricks. I don't know if you can see from here, but yeah, the mansion is made of bricks. The mansion is made of bricks. I'll have to stand so I can show you a better view of it. I'll have to stand. Just one moment. Right here. Right here will be perfect. Yeah. A full mansion made out of brick, guys. A full mansion made out of bricks. Let me try and zoom in and get you a better view. Take a look at that, guys. My phone isn't on. Okay. I think that's better. Oh, I'm shaking, guys, because of the bicycle. Yeah, take a look at that, guys. That's a whole mansion, made from bricks. You can see. And those are more bricks, down there. You see? Yeah, that's what I mean when I tell you we have to improvise here in the village, guys. This is our way of life right here in the border of Kenya and Uganda. So come along with me right across, this mansion. I can see there are more bricks over here. I don't know if I'll get a chance to talk to the owner, but let me try and see. Let me try and see if I can talk to the owner. Habari zenyu? Nyumbani nani anazongea naye juu ya matofali? Nani matofali ni za nani? Wamuishi huku? Ah, hayuko? Ako? Oh, guys, I've come across, other bricks being made over there. There are other bricks being made. Come on, this camera is so disappointing. There are other bricks, you can see. These ones are already burnt and they are ready for sale. You can see that's how they look, the whole process. So those ones are already burnt. But the owner apparently is not around. I don't think if it will be appropriate for me, to invade his home, and shooting all that, because I'm kind of invading his privacy. I don't know what I should do. Should I come back later? Or let me just... Ni yule anakuja? Ni yule anakuja? Let me just, go closer. Because now I have to show you this, guys. I have to show you. So, yeah. This is another brick site over here. This is another brick. You see, the whole process starts from here. This is where the whole process starts from. Mud being mixed with water. Then it's shaped into this kind of patterns. You can see. After it's shaped to this kind of patterns, it's arranged into that mountain over there. Then we take a closer look so I can show you guys what I mean by, building Africa the African way. After the bricks, are made from the mud, they are brought up here to build a whole mountain. You saw the first mountain that I showed you from the first site. So this one has already been burnt. So this one is ready for sale. That's why you can see, they are already, taking some of the bricks off and, waiting just for a potential buyer. But apparently, the owner is not around at home. So I have no one to talk to, but this is how, the bricks look after, they are burnt. Take a look at that, guys. This is how now the bricks look after, they are burnt. You see? Now, this is the whole process of making Africa. This is how, we construct our homes, guys. Hope you have now seen, a clear view of what I was talking about, because right here you can see, the bricks that are ready to be sold, and the mountain is right now being demolished so that the bricks can be sold. Yeah, that is it, guys. This is Africa. This is what we do. This is how we build. So, guys, Hope I'll be coming back tomorrow. In case the owner doesn't find me here, I'll come back looking for him tomorrow, because these are ready. If even we agree right now, I can be walking away with the bricks at home. So I will come back looking for the owner. But for now, guys, hope you have had, a clear picture of how, the construction materials that we use here in Africa, how they are acquired. And right over there, there's a pig. Remember what I told you about pork in this area? People eat too much pork in this border village. And I told you each and every home, they have a pig. Let me not, be so much intrusive in this guy's home. But I will come back, whenever he will be around. And I will show you how, we agree on whether I'll be acquiring these bricks or from the lady who was, quite friendly to me back then. But these ones here are ready, guys, to be sold. I don't have to wait for any other day. But for the other guys, the others that we have come across, I need to wait for them to be burnt, for them to be ready, so that they can be sold. But these ones right here are already ready. So I don't know his price yet, but the lady told me 7 shillings and the first guy told me 8 shillings. So if he offered me a better price, maybe even I will be taking the bricks today, but I'll come back when he's around, so that we can have a good negotiation, guys. But for now, guys, I think I'll not be going any further, because I've come a long way, and going further, guys, will be just going far away from home, and it's already 5 o'clock. So me going far away, it will be difficult coming back home. But for now, guys, allow me, to end my video right here, because this has been, walk around in the village trying to source for bricks that, will be used to build the water tank that, is currently, being dug at my home. And the fact that the owner is not around, I think I'll have to come back, maybe tomorrow morning, so that, we can try and negotiate, because I can see his bricks actually are ready, and, the work needs to be done as soon as possible. So I think I'll come back. I won't be waiting for him to, to get back home, because there's literally no one at home, even no kids. So maybe they will be coming, after a very long time. But for today, with from here, Kenya, East of Africa, with my amazing mountain bike, I want to call it a wrap. The sourcing has been amazing. Me just taking this walk around the village, sourcing and looking for this construction material called bricks that I've told you most people, do build with here in Africa, especially in the village located between the border of Kenya and Uganda. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Thank you so much, guys, for showing me support so far. When I started this channel, I never, assumed that, I'll be receiving this kind of support, but you guys have truly supported me since my first video until today, guys. We are still, taking it a step at a time, trying, just to bring you amazing content, showing you about, our continent here, Africa, and especially our village here in Kenya, East of Africa. So, guys, until the next one, I've been your host. I've been your, favorite, content creator. Call me Alestin Mandela, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.